Technical questions are easy, right? Whenever a student asks me a technical question, most of the time I know the answer. If I don't, like I can look it up, go figure it out, like a break, lunch, whenever. And those aren't bad. It's the some of the toughest questions I think a lot of times are career questions, right? They're just so individual. There isn't, for the most part, a lot of there's generic advice out there, but everyone's got different set of experiences, different set of goals, right, skills, everything. And so the answers are usually very, very unique. I had a former student reach out for just kind of a career advice question, and I typed up kind of a detailed email to them this morning. And I don't want to get into too many specifics, but basically trying to break into security, kind of OSINT research. And once again, this person was a former student, and I had the benefit of chatting with them every day in class. And so I know them. I know that they're brilliant. I know what they're capable of. And it's tough to convey that sometimes, right? And so they have their interest, they have what they're good at, but then when you look at their actual work experience, it's not there, right? And so it's really kind of like taking them at their word in interview. And that can be tough, right? Because if they get to an interview and they'll crush it, but it's just getting to that point can be, difficult, especially when it comes to intelligence jobs, trying to get that initial one to break into the field. And so there's a few different things that I'll probably talk about in a few different videos. But one that I want to talk about, part of my reply was, right now the job they're working is in security, but more of a physical security, right, than a cybersecurity. And that is actually fairly relevant to my, like, I can actually give some advice in that area because I was a federal agent. I was not starting off doing technical work. It just kind of transformed into that. And one of the ways that it transformed into that was I made it transform into that. And I don't want to sit here and sound like a hippie or some wish it, want it, do it, self help BS, because that's not what, that's not what I'm here for. What I'm saying is basically, even like when what I wanted to be doing wasn't my job, I kind of did it in addition to my job. I still made sure that I did what I needed to do, but then I was kind of going above and beyond. And eventually things like that get noticed. And so in this case, one of the things I told them, because like I said, they have a job for physical security, things like that, around a kind of a facility campus. And I said, well, is there anything you can do to break into like a little more technical? Right? And even if it's like, well, no, it's not my job. Okay, but is anyone telling you not to set up Google alerts for, certain signs of maybe, people protesting there or anything else like that that might be relevant to your interest? And that's obviously, it's going to vary depending on the style of work that you're doing. But in the government, a lot of times you had a force protection mandate to know if anyone was, planning anything against our executives. In the private sector, they have that same type of mandate in most industries, right? There's certain people that have that type of a mandate. And so just coming up with these things, even if no one is asking you to do it, is there a way that you can just still kind of do it and then let them know, hey, just so you know, I set this up, even if it doesn't help you in that job necessarily. And it might, like in my career, I was kind of able to, once again, very, very fortunate, don't get me wrong, but I was able to kind of, create multiple units that didn't exist before by explaining to them, hey, this is what I want to do. This is why I think it's going to be beneficial to you. And having a good enough reputation over the years to them trusting me to say, yeah, make it happen. And then delivering on the results, right? And so, once again, right, even if you're doing that, kind of setting up, and this is just one example, persistent monitoring efforts, well, all of a sudden now you have some stuff to add onto your resume, right? And you don't lie, you don't embellish, you just think of, what do I wish I had on my resume right now that I don't? And then try to make it happen. I did that recently with I started up kind of a new business line for my company, and one of the things I did is I used deep research for this. Is I said, hey, this is the type of work that I'm doing. This is the type of work that I'm getting into, and kind of I want to be doing more of this. So I don't think that my website really aligns with that. What can I change on there to kind of update it and reflect that? And it came up with some amazing advice. And so I know this may sound a little too simplistic, and I don't mean it that way, but like I said, what you don't have right now on your resume that you wish you did, there very likely may be a way that you can make that happen, right? So yeah, like I said, it's try to like I said, I don't want to get into some BS, but that's worked out well for me, and yeah, maybe it'll maybe work out well for you. Thanks.